Have you ever been playing a video game and thought to yourself, man, what would it be like to play the villain? Well, basically, that's Nefarious in a nutshell. Hello, everyone, and welcome to SliverStar Arcade, and something new I'm trying. I'm trying a review this time, and I'm calling this segment of the channel Ramble and Reviews, because if you know anything about me, you know I tend to ramble a lot, so there is no script. I do have some points to go off of, in my head at least, and yeah, let's just jump in. So Nefarious, indie game made by a small team. Let's start with the basic plot summary. You play as Crow, the villain of Macro City, and you start as what a villain usually does, by kidnapping a princess. A hero tries to stop you. You get to fight him, and then you take the princess back to your flying ship. Then you set out on a quest to capture more royalty in order to power a weapon. That's the basic plot summary. Let's talk about combat. So, it's a 2D action platformer, and basically you have two methods of attack. Your first is a punch, which can go in 360 degree. You can aim it with the right joystick and punch with X if you're not if you're playing with a controller. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure my computer's not too loud. So kind of like its combat is actually kind of like Shantae's combat, if Shantae could aim 360 degrees. And then your second move, you can switch it out, but for the most part, it's going to be a standard grenade, which will explode after like 3 seconds, or you can go to it and hit the jump button on it, and it'll automatically explode, and it'll like do a grenade jump, which is pretty useful for platforming. One thing I will say about the combat is it is finicky, and there are a lot of times when enemies have fixed positions. So like you will move towards an enemy and they will stay the same distance away from you, which wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't for the fact that they always stay just out of your reach, which does become annoying when you have like 15 flying enemies all attacking you and you can't hit a single one of them. But other than that, the combat is actually fairly good, and I actually really enjoy it. Now, one of the game's main selling points is what they call reverse boss battles, in which you basically, it's what it sounds like. So, like, have you ever wanted to play as Eggman when he has the giant wrecking ball? You can do that in this game. Yeah, it's a feature. Yeah. Let's see, my next point. Let's talk about the music. I can only describe the music as one word, and that is, out of all things, swanky. The music is wonderful. Each town has its own, or each kingdom has its own unique theme, and it can range from high-paced action to a sort of jazz feel, to even a calming exploration type feel. The music is honestly one of the greatest things about this game. But I will get on to the greatest thing about this game, and that is the writing. The writing is the biggest part of this game. If you are going to get this game, you are like, yeah, sure, get it for the combat, get it for the story, get it for, the way it plays, but even if, that stuff bothers you, I can guarantee you will leave satisfied with the story and the writing in this game. It's got running jokes, humor you wouldn't think of, and it's filled with so much charm that I can't even put into words just how much I adore the writing in this game. It is a bit on the shorter side, so we don't get as much of it, but I would actually put it like there were some moments where the writing was even more charming than, let me just think of it, Bug Fables, because you guys know how much I like that game and that game's writing. Now, there are some downsides to the game, like it's short time. You can probably get, if you're not going completionist, which, you can, and it would take a bit of time, but you can probably, if you're quick about it, you could probably finish the whole game in one setting. It's probably like a 6 to 8 hours game. That's being generous. However, it is also on the lower side in terms of cost, so it's kind of a you get what you pay for sort of deal. Movement is slippery, like there are slippery controls, and I found myself sometimes struggling to move or just barely slipping off a platform and just plummeting into my death. So yeah, a little tweak here or there would have made this better, but overall I think it is a great game, very worth the money and time. Like, I got mine for sale, but the sale only made it like, I don't know, somewhere between like $3 or $6 cheaper. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get this game for less than 20 bucks, and like for that price it is an amazing game, and I honestly highly recommend it. Like, I guarantee it, you will leave, feeling charmed with its story. Let's see, what else can I say about it? This is, like I said, this is mostly rambling. The whole point. I'm new to this. No script or anything. I probably should have made points. Let's see, what else can I say about the game? If I did have to talk about one complaint I had about the game is, oh yeah, I can talk about difficulty. There is no way to modify difficulty, and unless, it's like no upgrades, default run, whatever. However, there is a massive spike in difficulty with the true final boss. Like, you can get through most of the game. Like, yeah, sure, there's one level I died 27 times on, but we don't talk about that. The game, for the most part, is pretty easy, except for that final boss. However, it is doable, but the only, you can try and come up with patterns, but it's more of a trial and error, right? So that can sometimes be a bit annoying, but, it is what it is. The art style in this game is absolutely, well, the cutscenes are absolutely beautiful, and the portraits are the best part, in terms of art style. However, sometimes, art styles will conflict. Like, for example, I think Crow's, like, in-game sprite, like his portrait art, I think is absolutely beautiful and captures him very well, and I think his cutscene design is amazing. However, his in-game, like, actual sprite, I think makes him look like a goblin, and honestly, I don't really like it. But I actually have and same thing with Becky. I kind of like her sprite a bit more, but what I'm saying is, like, the portrait sprites, like the thing that comes up like next to a character's text box when they're speaking, those are the best parts of the art. This game is chock full of references that pay tribute to gaming history. A lot of Sonic, and let me give you an example. There's a character who you fight, and in one of the reverse boss battles where you use like Eggman's Wrecking Ball, right? And that character's name is Dash. And what he does is he has an attack in which he spins in place. You could call that a spin attack. He also likes to eat chili dogs. So if that wasn't too on the nose for you, then yeah. But this game has many different, like, you would think it's a straightforward game, but there are many things that just come out of nowhere. Like, you could go from being part of a great war to exploring the bottom of the ocean to being on a game show. But for that, you would have to buy the game and try it out yourself. Or you could watch my Let's Play on it. Yeah, I actually did do a Let's Play on it. And that will be it for this first edition of Ramblin' Reviews. Let me know how I did. And I guess you can click off the video now, unless you want to stay for the hint from my next Let's Play, because I said I'd be doing that in the review. Geez. So it was originally going to be another game, but that was supposed to come in like 3 weeks ago. But there's been delays with how the mail works, so I've had to just resort to playing a different game. How do I describe this? From what I know, it's an RPG, but it's not like Bug Fables. It's more akin to like RPG Maker games. However, I don't think it is one. And it has to do with theater. I don't know much about the game, so it's hard to give a hint about it, but yeah, an RPG, like a top-down RPG that revolves around theater. That's your hint for the next Let's Play. And that concludes this review on Nefarious. Give it a final score. It's got some bugs here or there, but overall it's a great game, and the charm and its story is more than enough to make the game worth it. It is a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's not the greatest game ever, and it's on the short side, but for its price, it is definitely something you want to play through. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments how I can improve this. Like I said, the whole gimmick is I just kind of sit down and ramble. But if you want to give me advice, I'm more than open to that. So I'm going to end it here. So as always, stay safe, have fun, and